Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. Today we're taking a look at Bloodstone #1. This is a Marvel comic, even though it looks different, by Abbott and Lanning. And the art team is Lopez and Hanna. I don't know much about Lopez and Hanna, but I do know Abbott and Lanning. I first learned about them. They wrote Warhammer comics. I wish I remembered what company that was, but I had roommates in college that were really crazy into Warhammer. They did the 40K one, and they also did the fantasy one. And I was just broke. I couldn't get into it. They had rules, you had to paint the miniatures to play and stuff like that. I was just too broke, and I was working 2 jobs and going, so I couldn't get into it, as fun as it looked. But they did give me their stack of comics when they were done reading them. So I learned a lot of like their lore and story, and I really, really like it. Maybe these days I'll get into it. I met a group of guys that are into Warhammer now, so maybe I'll get into it. But anyway, then Abbott and Lanning, they wrote a comic called The Hypernauts, which was just dynamite. So I'm big fans of it. I don't think that they collaborate too much anymore. So here we go. Let's take a look at Bloodstone #1. Does it have the year on it? No, it doesn't. It's a little scuffed up. Okay, let's check out the indicia. Bloodstone #1, 2001. I think I thought it was 2000. So this is a 21 years old already. Holy moly! Nice splash page. Nothing exciting. But let's look at the credits. Dan Abbott and Andy Lanning. They also wrote a Legion of Superheroes. Like I said, I'm a big fan of this for years. Michael Lopez pencils, Scott Hanna inks. I don't know much about them, so I'm sorry. But this is Joe Quesada and Bill Hamus. This was more recently. Think this was like a transitionary period in Marvel, if you ask me. So what's going on? This girl Elsa Bloodstone is finding out that her father, Ulysses Bloodstone, is dead. And this is her mother, Alyssa Bloodstone. And so who is Ulysses Bloodstone? Well, he was a caveman. He's like 10,000 years old, and his tribe was killed by like some sort of demon, and he managed to find this gem, and the gem like was embedded in his chest, and it gave him like superhuman strength, like the standard array of powers. He couldn't fly, I don't think, but he superhuman healing, a long life, and stuff like that. And he went and tried to kill the demon. And then, once he avenged the death of his tribesmen and the demon, he became a monster hunter. And of course, he's 10,000 years old, so he accumulated wealth. He has numerous offspring, of which so far all I know is Alyssa, and then she has a little brother called Cullen. And Cullen debuted in like a Avengers Academy or something like that. So Cullen's not in the picture yet. So Ulysses died out of comic. I don't think that Ulysses Bloodstone showed up since the 80s, and this is 2000. So he probably hasn't been in comics for like 20 years. So they're reviving the franchise. Why? Because I think they're going to use this character in the next phase of Marvel movies. She's capitalized on well, I guess this comic came out to capitalize on the Tomb Raider popularity. So but it's cool, super powerful, sexy girl who fights monsters and vampires. That'll be good, especially when I think she'll probably like do something with Blade or something like that. It's just a natural, or maybe Doctor Strange or whatever. So here she's meeting the executor of the will and the butlers who live in creepy Bloodstone Manor. And here he is. That's Ulysses Bloodstone. Look at that. I like what she says. What if the Bee Gees and Fabio mated? So, of course, she's like 18 years old, finding out that she's super wealthy. Her father was a world-renowned, infamous monster hunter and stuff like that, and they're fabulously wealthy. So she's like, a little overwhelmed. The mother, they showed her crying. She loved Ulysses. But Ulysses kept everybody at arm's length because, vampires were coming after him and demons were coming after him. So he and then also he's immortal, and like that stereotype of, I'm tired of watching all my loved ones die and stuff like that. So yeah, there you go. So that's why he's got cool cars and all this stuff. So she's looking through the house, She finds a room, and she lays down and instantly falls asleep. And so this is jarring. I remember when I was like, what's going on? So here she is coming out of the tombstone. And if you're confused, you won't be. Here's some X-Men and Spider-Man video games. And she's kick-ass fighting vampires, lighting everybody up. You know, I'm going quick because it is, here she is being all cool, fighting the Lord of the, and it's a dream. So she, you know, the house was speaking to me. You know, I dreamt that I was a famous vampire hunter, and the mother's like, I can understand that. And she's like, oh, just check it. Let's go around. Let's inventory everything in the house. So she's looking at these. She's looking up books. What does she find here? Oh, a knife. We were displeased with your tribute of coconut. And that's just, she's making jokes. Or whatever that is. That's kind of gross. Looks, and she finds this like crystal skull. Dad, was there anything disgusting you didn't save? You know, you've got to be kidding me. So she opens this up and turns, when she opens it up, the hidden bookshelf. Ta-da! You know, so she finds the super secret. So she's going down into the super secret area. And what's down here? Creep, creep, creep. She finds, are you smiling? Dinosaur skulls, sarcophagi, you know. God, this proves my father was a complete loon. He actually built a secret cave to hide the extent of his old book junk and crap fetish. India, so his clothes, she puts it on, you know. She's like, you'd best get less of that cactus, Black Bart. There's a new sheriff in town, you know. So she's goofing around. And what is this? Oh, like little like creatures start attacking her. And here is, they're gone. How do you get rid of those things? It's my job to keep the house in order. You were an accident or something? An accident? Why did you say, well, your face, nothing, never mind. So he's like Adam, you could call me Adam. How do you like your tea? They're hinting that he's Frankenstein's monster. And I forget if they ever fully explained who he was. But he's a caretaker. He takes care of all like the stuff and the mystic stuff and stuff that is really needs to be upkept, or bad stuff will happen. So like I said, so he's some sort of creation. It's like he hunted monsters like in my dreams. So he's like, yeah, here's the truth about your father. Oh, that's right. She didn't know he was a monster hunter. They just thought he was a rich eccentric. I don't even think her mother knew who he was. Here, check this out. So he shows her, check, you know, look at this. This is his Bloodstone choker. See if it fits. So he puts it on and it bit me. It bit me. It digs into her. It digs into her throat. He goes, Barnabas is the lawyer upstairs. What's that? So now she gets the power of a Bloodstone. So she wears this choker. I for the life of me, I don't know how Cullen also gets it. Was there two? You know, because it's supposed to be this one. So, and now she gets like a wish genie lamp. And what did she wish for? I wish I knew why it was flashing. Don't say wish. Don't say wish. Boom. So now she said wish. Barnabas is going to kill me. So why is it flashing? So she gets transported to Dracula. And he's going to explain everything. So ta-da! Her first mission out, she's fighting Dracula. And remember, Dracula is public domain. So he's been in Marvel Comics for a long time. Decades at this point. So I like this. I remember when it came out, I was like, oh man, they killed Ulysses. Because they killed off Ulysses' Bloodstone. But they never gave him the good goodbye. And, you know, you never saw the body, so who knows if he'll come back or not. But they're reviving. I mean, they haven't really used the character in 20 years. He was never a household name, so he never hit that, like, iconic status. I hate when they, once you become iconic status, like Spider-Man or the Fantastic Four, you shouldn't be changed, or Superman. But a Bloodstone never really hit that. He never really had his great story. He was in a couple of tryout books and whatever, and then guest appearances. You know, I think he showed up in like back issues of the Defenders and stuff like that. So here they're trying something else. You know, whatever. See if it works. But now I think the studio is getting interested in this character. So I thought I would introduce you to her. And this was cool. If you see the name Abnett and Lanning, you know you're going to get a good story. And the art wasn't too bad. Good comic book art, you know, 20-year-old art. So they, you know, you could see they do the butts and, you know, a lot of cheesecake and stuff like that. You know, Marvel is a little different today. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this. I dug rereading this. This was a good run. And you know, I'm curious what they'll do with the character. So there you go. That's I hope you enjoyed this video. I had a kick out of showing it. I haven't looked at this comic literally since I bought it. And thank you for taking time out of your busy day to check out my videos. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.